Hi, this is Marek from Tryb Solo. Today I would like to show you Wingspan Asia expansion. Thanks Stonemaier Games for sending it for review. And this expansion is a little different than the previous ones because you have an expansion, you have new cards that you can add to your base game or base game with previous expansions. You can combine all the cards together. But this time this is also a standalone two-player game. And also standalone one-player game because you can play this solo. You have Automa that uses the new rules and the new play mode that is included here. And the new play mode is called Duet mode. I will show you in a second how the new mode plays and exactly what you find in this expansion. You can also play with 6 and 7 people if you include this expansion to the base game, so a lot of new options. Let me show you the new components and let me explain you the new rules, and then I will tell you what I think about this expansion. This is the new Wingspan Asia prepared for play. This is set up for one player. I will tell you about the new things in this expansion, and I will also tell you how to play solo with this new expansion / standalone game. Because this is a standalone game, you have a few elements that look different than in the base game, but they serve the same purpose. You have this board here, and this is a replacement of the bird feeder. If you have the base game, you can use the bird feeder from the base game, but if you have only this expansion standalone game, you will use this board to roll the food dice. Here you have another board where you will display the 3 birds that you can get during your turn. In the base game you had this plastic tray where you could put the birds. Here you have just a cardboard board. This is the player board. It has a new design, more Asian design, but it serves the same purpose, and there are no major or not at all no changes in this part of game. The new thing and the most important one is this new Duet map, where you will place your tokens in the game and where you will fight for end of round goals, because end of round goals work differently in the new Duet mode and also in the new solo mode. I will not explain you how to play Wingspan, because on my channel you can find video about Wingspan Oceania expansion, about the base game, where I explain how to play the game. So I will not tell you everything again. Basically, you have different birds. You will play the birds on your player board. You will have to gain specific food because birds need food to be played on your board. You will have to lay eggs. You also have to pay eggs for placing birds, and you will also be able to get new different cards, more cards. Here you have end of round goals where you will score points. You have also some personal goals. These personal goals are new in this game. I mean, you have a set of new goals. You can add these goals to your previous expansions or the base game, or just use the new one just like you wish. So this is basically how you play Wingspan, but I want to talk about the new stuff here. And first of all, you can use Wingspan Asia as a new expansion for your base game with the previous expansions. You have new color of the eggs. You have new goal cards that you can use. They have different, different scoring options. You can add the cards to your base game, or you can just use this card. But you also get a deck of bird cards. You have 90 new birds that you can use to, make your game more fun and have even more birds. They have different skills, they have different attributes. With this game, you will get 3 rule books. You have the basic rule book that tells you how to play Wingspan. You have the Automa rules that tell you how to play the new solo mode, but also you have an appendix that explains all the abilities on the bird card, on the goal cards. So this is really cool, because if you don't understand how something works, you can find it in the appendix, and it will explain you all the more complex stuff. So okay, you have new cards that you can add to your current Wingspan base game. You have the new flock mode The flock mode allows 6 or 7 players to play Wingspan, because the base game is for 1 to 5 players. And if you want to play with 6 or 7, you have to use this new mode where the players are divided into 2 groups. When you play with 6, there are 2 groups with 3 people. If you play with 7 people, there is 1 group with 3 and 1 with 4. And the players are divided into 2 groups. Each group has a separate bird feeder, a separate set of cards marked with the bird cards. But the players in both groups, they share the same goals, and they play, you can say, at the same time, because you have this tracker that shows, for example, that now in this round the red player and the yellow player, they play at the same time, and then you rotate it and the next 2 players, one from each group, plays the game. They play at the same time because if you would have to wait for other 6 players to finish their round, the downtime will be really great, and it will be too much. So this is probably why they decided to split players into 2 groups that play, you can say, their own game, but they compete to score the same goals. I haven't tried this mode. I have never played Wingspan with 5 people, so I will not probably play with 6 or 7. But the most fun addition in this expansion is the new Duet mode that allows 2 players to play the game, and it also introduces this map board. And this is really fun and really cool, because this map board, it basically, let me show you how it looks like. It basically replaces the end of round goals that were in the base game. In the base game, you had just 4 different end of round goals that told you that you have to have most birds, I don't know, in a specific area, or most birds with a specific type of nest. And here you have these different areas, 3 areas, and different spots. And every time you play a bird on your player mat, you will take this token. Every player gets 15 tokens like this, and you will place it on a specific spot. The spot must be corresponding to the type of terrain where you played your bird. You also have to check which type of nest the bird uses and which type of food you paid to play this bird card. But then if you have found the right spot, you can place your token. And some spots have some bonuses that you will get when you place your token. Like, for example, if I place my token here, I will get additional card, or I will get an additional egg or food die. But when you place your token and every player, the second player also places a token, and you place another token here, then at the end of the round you will check the goals. And for example, in round 1, the player with most tokens on the map wins and gets 2 points, and the losing player gets 0 points. In round 3, the winner gets 3 points, then 4 points and 5 points. And the end of round goals, they mostly taking into consideration the number of tokens here. So for example, this says that most tokens on the map, or fewest tokens on bonus spaces, the spaces that gives you additional bonus, or most tokens in this forest area here. And the goals are double-sided. In the box you get 6 tiles, they are double-sided, so you have 12 different goals that you can use in your game. So at the end of the round you have to check the specific goals, and the player that has most tokens in specific areas or specific horizontal lines, specific regions, gets more points. Also at the end of the game you have to check the areas in the largest group of your tokens, and then you will get 1 point for each token here. So if, for example, at the end of the game my tokens look like this, I will get 5 points for this large group. If you cannot place your token on this map, because there can be a situation where the spot is token or there is no free spot for you, you can place this token here in this area, and then in your turn you can remove this token to either refresh the market with the cards, or to refresh the dice in bird feeder. So this is also really cool because you don't lose your token, you can use it in a different way. The rest of the game is more or less the same. Each player gets a board and plays the traditional Wingspan game, but the end of the round goals are done on this map, and this is really fun, and I like this more than the regular end of the round goals, because it gives more player interaction, because in the base game each player played like a multiplayer solitaire game. Okay, you had the bird feeder, maybe the other player could take the die you wanted from here, or another player could take a bird that maybe you wanted to take. But apart from the two areas here, each player had his own board and played, you can say, solo game. And here with this new board, you really compete for the spots, for the areas, for the bonuses, and this is fun, and I think it's more interesting. The cool part about the new Duet mode is that the Automa also uses this map, and Automa will also place tokens here. The basic rules for the solo mode stay the same. The main difference is that apart from this regular round tracker, you get the Duet map tracker, and you place it like this, and when you have a Automa card, you have to place it on both cards. So the left part shows you which bonus will Automa take in the current round, on current turn, but the right part will tell you where Automa will put a token on the map board. Automa puts tokens in two cases. If it plays, basically if it takes a bird from the bird offer, in this situation Automa will try to place the token in a spot that will give Automa biggest chance to win a bonus in a specific round. And if Automa takes this type of card, Automa will put the token according to the reference here. So first you find the corner where Automa starts, and then Automa will move in lines from up to down or down up, and we'll check where to put the token. For example, here Automa will start in the bottom right corner, and then we check the symbol. The symbol says that Automa will find the spot with a specific nest type, and here we have pink power, and pink power says that Automa will place a token in a blue area. So starting from this corner, you will find a spot in a blue area with the first free spot in a blue water area with icon that shows type of nest, and Automa plays this token, for example, here. So this is really easy. Maybe it sounds a little complex when I explain it to you, but normally when you play the game it's really intuitive, and it takes not really much time than the previous solo variant. And this is cool that this variant also uses this map. You don't have to use this map if you want to play traditional solo game of Wingspan, but if you like the new Duet mode, you can use Automa to play it as well. And this is really cool because in the small box for Wingspan Asia, you will get a standalone solo game that you can take with you, or you get a standalone two-player game that is compact, and you can put it in your backpack and take anywhere where you want to go. So this is really fun. So let me tell you what I think about this expansion. Wingspan Asia is a really cool expansion for all the Wingspan fans. If you like Wingspan, but you don't like to add any expansions, this one will also not convince you to get it. But if you have the previous expansions and you want new birds, new goal cards, this one's really cool. You have 19 new cards and 15 new goals from what I remember, so it's great. But the cool thing here is, for me, for example, the best new feature is the new Duet mode. Because I usually play Wingspan solo or with my wife, for example, and this new play mode is really fun. As you have seen when I showed you the components and the gameplay, the new mode uses the map board, and this is really fun because I think it adds more player interaction, because previously when all players had their own board, they only focus on the board, and maybe someone took the birds that you wanted to take, or the food dice. But apart from that, everyone was playing a multiplayer solitaire game. And now when there are two players, they compete for the spots on the map board. You can get bonuses from the board, but also you will score points for achieving the goals. So it's really, really fun. I also like the size of this expansion, and this is it may sound funny, but for me this is one of the nicest feature of Wingspan Asia, because in such a small box, this box is really small, like regular box is this high, and this is quite a thin box. You get a full, complete, stand-alone 1 or 2 player game. And if you would like to take Wingspan to, I don't know, to a friend to play, or if you would like to take it for a trip, this is really cool, because this is a quite compact box that you can take with you, and you have a compact version of Wingspan. Of course, you don't have this beautiful, bird feeder, or you don't have the plastic tray for cards, but you have all the components that are needed to play Wingspan with solo or 2-player, and it's really, really cool. They included the rulebook, and they included the solo rulebook, automa cards, so this is like a complete game. I haven't played the flock mode that allows you to play with 6 or 7 people. I'm not sure if I will ever play Wingspan with such high player count, because I think maximum I played Wingspan with 4 people. But if you have a big group, you can try to play with 7. You need the base game, of course, because you need a lot of bird cards. Maybe you need to add another expansion as well. But if you have a large group and a lot of people that like to play Wingspan, you can, play Wingspan with 7 people when you have a game night. And as for the solo mode, it's really clever that the Automa uses the new map board and also compete for the Duet goals, because they changed the system a little. As you have seen, you have this additional round tracker card that shows you where to put token on the map board, but it's really, really cool. And I like the variety with this game, because you can, if you have 2 people playing Wingspan, they can use the new Duet mode, they can use the traditional mode, you can use the birds only from this expansion, or you can combine the birds with other expansions. If you play solo, you can use the original solo mode, you can use the new solo mode. It's really, really fun. So if you have Wingspan and all the expansions, you have a lot of ways to play this game, and it's really, really fun. The artwork is amazing, as always with Wingspan, and this is really, really nice. I know that some people only wanted the new cards, bird cards, and from what I heard, I'm sorry if I'm mistaken, but from what I remember, there should be an option next year probably to buy just the new Asian cards for Wingspan, so you don't need this expansion. But if you play this game solo, or if you play Wingspan at two players, this expansion is really, really cool. I like it. It will stay in my collection for sure. And if you're a fan of Wingspan, you should try Wingspan Asia. Thank you for watching this video. Click the like button if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, visit me on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. I will leave links in the description of this video, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.